Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 3, Sunday Coffee with Dr. V. I've kind of already had my coffee, but I go live in my private group an hour before, so that's when I have my coffee. I've been up since 6:30. Alani woke up. How the heck are y'all? Welcome to the replay. If you're on the replay, you can fast forward to about the 5-minute mark. Got some great news to share with you guys. I'd like to say hello to some people. Like Jose is watching. It's so cool to see all of these regular names. Like Lori Bloom is back. Look at that. Teresa Durbin's there in my private group. Yang Yang's in my private group. Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing great. I got some allergies. I don't know what's going on. Where are you watching from? I'm here in Houston. And a cold front came in. It was 37 when I woke up this morning. It's only going to be a high of 51 degrees. But it's going to be sunshine, 51 degrees. Anita Louise, I know she's in Hawaii. Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are doing great. Ferdy, he's back. How's your girlfriend doing? All right. Cheers. There's 32 of us. Hit the share button. Hit the like button. Let's get some more people in here. All right. California's in the house. San Francisco's in the house. Jennifer Napier's back. Sarah Elizabeth, down 12 pounds. Nice. So if it says Facebook user, just go to the top of my post, wherever you're watching, and give StreamYard permission, and we'll show your name. Maddox, New York City. I love New York City. Wisconsin's in the 20s. Pula. Boo. Ruth McCool. Is that your real name, Ruth? New Jersey. Look at this. Anybody? Denise is back. Anybody? How are we doing, by the way? How are you guys liking the Sunday episodes? Should I keep going after this month? Are we going to have enough viewers? Who knows? Guess we should. I got to start. I need to finish the book one. Too Soon Old, Too Late Smart series. I'm on day 17. I'm only halfway through it. Oh, it's cold and snow. Lori Bloom loves it. Suzanne Chamout is in my private group. We got 44 of y'all. Yay. I always look forward to it. That's good. Keep it going. Eileen Marshall, Nuggets of Wisdom. Are you guys liking Sunday coffees? It's free stuff. It's good shit. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering, this is my artwork in the back. This is stuff I've done back in college. Keep it coming. Commitment. Thelma. Mara's back. Gene Wiggins says it's great. Thank you. I should really, edit these down. Please continue. We got 2 minutes before we get started. That's true. Sunday morning tea. That's good. La Crosse, Wisconsin. Is that a place? That's cool. This channel is not really about politics, but I'm just gonna say this real quick. We are in for a crazy year. So y'all need to be careful. That's all I'm going to say. It's just going to be a crazy year. People are going to be crazy. It's going to make 2020 look like child's play. Oh, it's too hot for that. Check out this shirt. I designed this shirt. It's a throwback look to the 70s. Perhaps you were born for such a time as this. I should put this on my website. Would you buy this shirt? I think it's cool. Pretty fun. We have some family visiting from New Mexico, so that you might hear some noise in the back. But we've been doing a lot of stuff. I've been doing a lot of cooking. I made bulgogi last night, right? It's got to be crazy. Yes. So the artwork are lithographs. They're lithographs. I did those in college. Good morning, Mandy. Lori. That's right. College Town, Mississippi River. Okay, it's great to know. So we got 1 more minute. We got 30 seconds, and then we'll go. Good one. You want to see the shirt again? You're born for such a time. Okay, I gotta calm them down. All right, y'all need to calm down. I'm live. Sorry. Give me 30 minutes. Go back to bed. Anyway, didn't work. Timothy's here. Good morning, everybody. We got 50 people. We can get 100 people. All right, I'll just get started. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode number 3, Sunday Morning Coffee with Dr. V. How do you really change your life? Comment if you really want to change your life. Now, listen, 2024 is going to be a crazy year, right? It's an election year, a lot of craziness, okay? But what I want you to do now, even if you have a good life, you might love your work. Your bank account might be totally fat and full. You might not know what to do with all your money. You might not, you might be in great shape. But comment if you want more in your life, if you want to change your life. Lori Bloom wants to change. So change means like I have a great life, right? But I still want to change. I still want more. I don't want to be average. See? There you go. Stop being over 200, you know? Stuck. I'm laughing. It's a good one. So I'll give you an example. If you missed the announcement, I actually bought a bed and breakfast outside of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Jenny Salinas wants more. Amy Webb wants more. My girl Cindy Inkpin wants more. Right? Gotta invest in yourself and your kids. Done with anxiety, Gene Wiggins says. Yes. So I bought the bed and breakfast. I raised the money for it. And we're moving. So we love it here in Houston. We live in a great neighborhood, big homes all around us. We're actually one of the smaller homes. But we moved to Houston right before the pandemic because I'd been away from Kizzy. For those of you who read my book, Ultimate Gastric Sleep Success, that's my first daughter, Kizzy's role. And I'd been away from her for so long. And I said, hey, I said, what do you know, Erica had never left New Mexico. I said, baby, what do you think if we go to Houston? You'll love it. She said, yeah, I'm down. So we moved here, and then the pandemic hit, and kind of locked down, kind of doing the whole post-pandemic thing. Well, it turns out, lo and behold, you wake up one day, and your little baby girl is now graduating high school this year. And for those of you who are just joining me now, back in December, I had a near-death experience. Not really, but I had a massive diverticular bleed. I had GI bleed. I was pooping blood bad. And I had to be admitted to the hospital, got bowel prepped, CAT scan, the whole shebang. And got 2 units of blood. 2009, my dad died of colon cancer. And he went from strong as an ox to 9 months later, he was dead. So I was sitting there in the hospital waiting for my CAT scan report thinking, what if this is colon cancer? And we have a 9-month, now a 10-month-old baby, Milani. I said, what if Milani only has 1 more year left with daddy? What if Mason only has 1 more year left with daddy? Luckily, CAT scan came back negative. The colonoscopy was negative for cancer. Got 2 units of blood in the hospital a couple days away from the baby. So I've been looking at this bed and breakfast since October, trying to figure out if we have enough money and revenue to hire employees to run it, that sort of stuff, doing my due diligence. And then I said to Erica, before you think I'm crazy, hear me out. She goes, what? I said, what do you think if we moved to the bed and breakfast and ran it and lived on the mountains? She goes, that would be my dream. I said, are you kidding? She goes, yeah, I've always wanted that. She's from the area. She's grew up in the mountains and loves being outdoor. I know she's pretty, but she's a really outdoorsy nature girl, believe it or not. And I said, Kizzy's going off to college. We love Houston. We literally love Houston. The culture, the people. I said, but we don't really need to be here. And I said, we don't have any family here. And we're stuck with Milani. But I mean, we go to lunch every day. We take her, and sometimes she's asleep in her carrier. Sometimes she's awake. But we can't go out on a date night unless we have family come, or I pay per babysitter. And if we move back to Santa Fe, her family's just within a short drive. We can actually have, oh, we have 100 people on. We can actually have like her mom come visit and babysit. We can actually leave town. So she's like, dude, let's do it. So tip number 1 on how to change your life. Ready? How to change your life, y'all. And I write in caps just so it sticks out. Okay. I want you to work on this. If you want your life to change, you have to make the decision. I want my life to change. That's the key. Make the decision. I want my life to change. So I had a great life. Retired, had passive income. I was making more working an hour a day than I did as a surgeon every month. And then I've been kind of in this malaise, this post-pandemic malaise. Like I've been preaching about coming out, like you gotta like work and go and go, go. But I never can motivate myself to do it. Does that make sense? I could never motivate myself to do it. I didn't know what I was anymore. Am I a world-renowned surgeon if I'm no longer operating? Am I a YouTube influencer if COVID's over? No one's watching me for COVID videos anymore. Am I a personal development guru if I'm just sitting around doing nothing? You know, I don't have my schedule. I don't have my da-da-da-da. So I make the decision. Listen to me. Y'all need to make this decision to lose the fucking weight. Decide once and for all, I'm done with 200 pounds, 300 pounds. Make the decision. You're done with living paycheck to paycheck. I'm not doing paycheck to paycheck anymore. And for those of you who watched me during the January dailies, said you're not average. You have to decide to not be average. Okay. Thank you, Alice. Welcome back. You have to decide not to be average. Average Americans are overweight. Average Americans live paycheck to paycheck. They don't have $500 in the bank account. 60% divorce rate. So that means they're not really happy in their marriage and relationships. 80% are disengaged at work. That means they don't really like their jobs. They don't really like what they do. Why do you go to work? I got to pay my bills, Dr. V. You have to decide. Make the decision. This is what I'm going to do. Now listen, for those of people who wanted to go through with surgery, like, right? You have to understand what an average surgery is. I'll give you an example. We in bariatric world, we our long-term data, it's 5 years or more. You look at your excess weight loss percentage. So how much are you overweight by? And we use the BMI calculator, which is not perfect, but let's say you're 100 pounds overweight. That's a BMI of 40, roughly. Our average bariatric surgery patient is a BMI of 42, 43. It's not my 600-pound life. It's not like what you see on TV. And yes, I know I was on that TLC show, 900-pound man race against time. Did you guys know that? Did you ever see my TV show, TLC? But let's say your BMI is 42, 40 is 100 pounds overweight. After 5 years, guess what the average excess weight loss is if you have a gastric sleeve? And that's the percentage. If you're 100 pounds overweight, how many pounds have you kept off on average after 5 years? And yes, there are people who lose 100 pounds, 100%. There are people who don't. There are ups and downs and weight regains, all of that. But on average, at the end of 5 years, what's the excess weight loss if you have a gastric sleeve? The average is 60% excess weight loss. 60%. So if you're 100 pounds overweight, most likely on average, you will lose 60 pounds and keep 60 pounds off on average. And there are people like Thelma, lost 220 plus pounds. There are people who go up and lose it all, gain it all. There are some slow people who like slowly creep up. We've seen all the patterns, right? Now compare this to diet and exercise. If you diet and exercise, 5 years later, we look at the data, and you're 100 pounds overweight, how many pounds do you think the average person who diets and exercise keeps off? Go ahead and just put it in the comment section. Give me a guess, because this is really important. You have to understand this. After 5 years of diet and exercise, and you're 100 pounds overweight, after 5 years of trying to diet and exercise, the average weight loss is 1 pound, 1%. If you look at all the numbers, 1 pound, 1%, which, as you guys all know, is a big bowel movement. I had to have a colonoscopy, got bowel prepped, and I swear I lost some weight. So when you look at a gastric sleeve and you say 60%, that's not good. It's way better than trying to diet and exercise, right? Well, Dr. V, I want more than 60%. That's why I had the gastric bypass, the big gastro, Dr. V. I did all the way. Okay, good. So at 5 years, what's the average weight loss for someone who had a gastric bypass? Anyone know? By the way, I did this, I gave this whole talk. I drew the graphics and all of this on my online course called my weight regain course, which you can still get online. It's very good. The big gastro, Dr. V. I had the big gastro. So 5 years after gastric bypass, the average excess weight loss is 65%. 65%. So if you're 100 pounds overweight, you're going to most likely keep off around 65 pounds, which is slightly more than the gastric sleeve, but it's not statistically significant. Now you're having revision issues now with the sleeve, mostly for heartburn, some weight regain, the sleeves being crooked, pinched, twisted sleeves, twisted sisters, twisted sleeves, dilated pouch, dilated sleeves, etc. But that's the beautiful thing about the gastric sleeve. Now you can convert them to a bypass. You can convert them to a duodenal switch. You can do what's called a SIPS. And you can do something that's poorly named called the mini gastric bypass, which is actually more properly named the one anastomosis gastric bypass, which is becoming more popular. You have a gastric bypass, the big gastro. We don't have good revisions for that. You don't have good revisions for a gastric bypass. So, man, for people who decide to jump in at a very young age, and by very young, I mean, think about it. I mean, we're talking 5-year data. So if you're having a gastric bypass at 40, you're only 45 years old. You're only 50 years old. A hip replacement surgery. Fucking titanium. How long does the average hip or knee replacement last? On average, it's 10 years. 10 years. So Alice is doing the sidey. See ya. Yeah, that's a good. Be careful. That's the latest craze. Get your mind straight, Alice, for sure. Cindy Inkpin says, great course. Thank you very much. You're really good, Rose. That's really good. Okay, so what was I talking about? I forgot. Excess weight loss. I forgot. What was I talking about? I got distracted. Look, comments. Oh, yeah. Titanium hips. 10 years. A new hip lasts about 10 years. If you have a new heart valve replaced, 10 years. Heart bypass surgeries, 10 years. So why are we telling obesity people that this is like permanent weight loss? It's not. It's a lie. You know? How can you do a gastric bypass or gastric sleeve on a 20-year-old and say this is forever? They're 20. They have a long, many years left to live. Maybe 60, 70 more years left to live. Even if you do surgery, weight loss surgery on someone who's 50, they have another 30 years to live. And a titanium hip only lasts 10 years on average. Titanium. So that's what it means to be average. Does that make sense? These are average numbers for weight loss surgery patients. Make the fucking decision to not be average. That's how your life changes. Make the decision to change your life. Like, I am done. I am done living paycheck to paycheck. I am done begging for scraps from my work. I am done arguing about a 10-cent raise at work. I am done trying to get my vacation in before someone else picks those dates. I am done. You have to make that decision. That's how your life changes. Okay. Don't be average. The decision to not be average. Number 2. Okay, so here's, in my private group, I talk about these higher faculties. Average people, we have these thoughts. Average people have these thoughts, and these thoughts come from our five senses: sight, hearing, smelling, tasting, touch, etc. So these thoughts you're having in your head, oh no, I'm good, or I'm red state, I'm blue state, whatever you want to think, doesn't matter. Economy's good, economy's bad. You're watching the news, you're hearing these commentators talk. So that's what's giving you these thoughts. You eat something that's delicious, chocolate covered strawberries, you have these thoughts. I like chocolate covered strawberries. You eat some chips, you say, oh my God, these chips are great. You have these, you fall for the marketing, these Mio drops, you think they're healthy, or Crystal Light packets, and you got to have flavored water. God forbid you drink regular water. So average people bring in, someone write these in the comment section. Average people bring in these thoughts in their head. I'm telling you, Amy, this is how you break this stuff. Ignore the little girl running in the background. Okay, so you have these average people have these thoughts from these five sources, senses. Above average people, you change your life by you start to using what Bob Proctor calls the higher faculties. There's 6 of them. Perception's 1, memory, reasoning, imagination, and 1 more I forget. 2 more I forget. But the one I want to talk about is imagination. So here's how you change your life. Here's step number 2. You have to use your higher faculties and imagine your new life. You have the capacity, look at me. You have the capacity to take your new life out here. You don't have it yet. And bring it with your imagination. Bring it to the present day. I know that sounds weird, but just stick with me for a little bit. Just use your imagination and bring it to the present day. Studies have shown your brain cannot tell the difference between reality and imagination. Mark Twain famously said, I'm an old man who has suffered a lot of trials and tribulations, most of which have never happened. In other words, he used his imagination to make up all these fears that never came to pass. Okay? Comment if you have ever wasted time worried about something and it just didn't even come to pass. You were worried about the presentation. You were worried about the layoff. You were worried about the economy. You were worried about how you were going to pay this bill or that thing, and it just never came to pass. Turned out everything was right. Your presentation was fine. You know? Yes. So you imagine the new life. So I never did finish my story about the bed and breakfast. So I raised the funds for this bed and breakfast. I made the offer, lowball offer. I said, there's no way she's going to accept this. She came back with an offer. I countered at another counter offer, thinking she would like counter again, and she didn't. She took it. I said, no effing way. What? She took it because she's a motivated seller. So Eric and I have spent the last week. I paid my earnest money this week. I formed the new LLC paperwork. We've ordered inspections. So Eric and I have been talking for the last month, like we are going to be living on this bed and breakfast. We've told Mason that we're living there. This is before she accepted my offer. Does this make sense what I'm saying? Like we were talking about our new life. We were already planning like, and I don't have the money for it, right? I'm a retired surgeon. I don't have a W-2. I look terrible on paper. Bank, a bank is not going to invest in me. The bed and breakfast doesn't do enough revenue to support. There's not a solid enough business model, right? I don't have the money for it. But Eric and I are already talking about our lives on the mountain, how fun it's going to be, the 4 seasons. What if we have snow? We need snowshoes. What, like, I'm going to cook people breakfast burritos. I'm going to have a big pot of gumbo. Hey, Dr. V tonight is making gumbo. Do you want some? $20 a plate. And you want my gumbo. Trust me, it's delicious. And then we're imagining, so the main concern was like, what do we do for schooling for Mason? She's gifted and talented. She's identified as gifted and talented. She's super smart, super witty. She's a little carbon copy of me, in case you're wondering. And so we're like, well, maybe we can homeschool. Maybe we can try. Like I said, hey, Erica, like I grew up in the poorest, like worst school in Longview, Texas. You went to elementary school in Las Vegas. I turned out all right. You turned out all right. It's not the end of the world. If she spends 1 semester, 1 year at Pecos, which is a small little shit town. I mean, it's a village. It's not very big at all. Their elementary school is rated horribly. Like it won't be the end of the world. And in fact, I said, Erica, like she needs to see meet some other people instead of here in Houston and Bel Air, like all these rich families, and we have a friend that they have a playroom with just the toys and all this stuff, like a room bigger than this office of just for toys. Like not every kid gets that, man. So to kind of see be exposed to other things, I think is very important. And then Erica started thinking. She goes, well, let me go look at schools in Santa Fe, elementary schools in Santa Fe. We're an hour outside of Santa Fe. Because, well, we have a friend who works with school systems. We have a uncle that's a principal on this. So she starts reaching out to friends and family about where would you send them to elementary school. And then she started thinking, man, they're begging for substitute teachers. What if I was just a substitute teacher? I love my teachers, but substitute teachers, y'all don't do much. You know what I mean? Like you just show up. They already have kind of like a movie to watch or a little lesson plan already done. You're basically a paid babysitter, and they pay really well. And you can also you get benefits working part-time. So she starts thinking like, what if I'm a substitute teacher? And I was like, oh my God. I was like, all these little middle school boys would go crazy with Erica as their teacher. These little middle school boys have no chance. So then now we're talking about how, okay, well, the days that you're substitute teaching, you can take Mason into school. On other days, I can take Mason to school. And then I realized like I can't drive in the dark, and we'd have to leave. We'd have to leave the mountain like 6 a.m. to get to school by comfortably by 7:30. I was like, I don't know if I can see to drive. So we're imagining this life. And then I said, you know what, hun, like we could homeschool her, or we could send her to Pecos, which is only like 20 minutes away, and then do the supplement with our homeschooling. You want to teach her nature. This is why we're going. We can teach biology. We can teach about the seasons. We're going to river. We can teach about animals. We've got deer running, wild turkeys running around. We've got sheep. Well, not sheep. We've got bear and mountain lion, bobcats. We got all sorts of animal life. We've got the trout in the river. You can collect stones and moss and leaves, and we can make rubbings and designs. Like we do all sorts of stuff, right? You add to any shortcomings from Pecos. And I said, well, like just imagine Milani is crawling. And yesterday she pulled herself up in her crib, and then her sister Mason said, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. And she let go of the side of the crib and started clapping her hands. And she balanced herself, and then she grabbed it back on. So she's really close to walking. So I said, Erica, imagine June, and we've moved to the mountain, and Milani's walking, and she's following behind you. Like here's Erica and a little basket. Mason has a little basket, and you're walking out to the chicken coop and collecting eggs. And little Milani's trying to learn to walk, and then she falls down on her butt. Boom. It's okay because she has a big fat diaper. Boom. Mason's laughing and giggling, and the cousins are there. All her little friends are there, and we're not fucking. It's not like we're not roasting in the weather. It's nice and cool. It's warm during the days and cool weather at nighttime. You need a little jacket, And if we get hot, then we just go swimming in the river. People are driving by. We've got guests coming in, staying, loving it. We clean the cabins, the bed and breakfast, and until we get the systems down, then we can hire somebody. So you got to imagine this new life. And the more that you do that, the more clear you get at, the better you get at it. That's how your life changes. Okay. Here's what happens though. Average people, and you're not average, they can't imagine whether they have a block. Dr. V, I grew up poor. I can't imagine that. I'm not social like you. I'm not smart like you. I'm not charismatic, like whatever the reason. Average people, and this happens every new year. Like set your goals. Yeah, I'm going to lose the weight. Yeah, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make more money. I'm going to save money. And then what happens? They fall back to doing what they know how to do. Why? Because they can't see the path. Steve Jobs says you cannot connect the dots moving forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. In fact, think about this right now. Imagine your life. Where are you with your life right now? How did you get to this life? You say, well, Dr. V, I went to college. I met my husband. I took this job, and then I went to another job, and went to another job, and then I retired. And so you're connecting the dots looking backwards, thinking about it. And if I said, okay, well, what's going to happen in 2 years from now, or 5 years from now, or 6, you can't see it. You have no clue. You cannot connect the dots moving forward. Steve Jobs says you have to have faith that the dots will work itself out. So you just have to do. So what happens is average people, and you're not average, have these thoughts on this level that give them this result. These thoughts give them these results. This is all they pay. Here's the thought. This is all they pay teachers, and now you're living paycheck to paycheck, Amy. You have these thoughts. I can't control myself around chocolate, so someone retires at work, and you're eating chocolate cake. Well, Dr. V, it's chocolate lava cake. It's my favorite. Gotta have it. You gotta have it because you keep saying you're powerless around chocolate. By the way, for those of you in recovery, I have an issue with the whole I am powerless against alcohol thing. I just don't think that's the right thing. I get it. Some people need to do it, but I just don't I don't think that's the case. Anyway. So you have these thoughts and you get these results. You have these thoughts. Oh, the economy's bad. The economy's bad. The economy's bad. So you don't try the new business. This is a pyramid scheme, pyramid scheme, pyramid scheme. So you don't start selling dildos, you know? Like money doesn't grow in trees. Money doesn't grow in trees. Money doesn't grow in trees. And now you're wondering why, like, you don't have any money. So in my private group, I go like, dude, I started saying I'm a motherfucking money magnet. Excuse the language, but that's what it is. I'm a motherfucking money magnet. My life changed the day I woke up and I said, everyone loves Dr. V. Everyone just loves Dr. V. Everyone loves Dr. V. Now, why is that? Why is that important? Well, if everyone loves Dr. V, ask yourself this question. What is the type of person Dr. V has to be so that everyone loves Dr. V? Does this make sense? In order for everyone to love Dr. V, I got to quit criticizing people. I got to quit bitching about how they live their lives, who they love. I have no opinion who you love. I have no opinion if you want to smoke heroin. I have no opinion if you want to drink and drive. Just let me know so I'm not on the road. But, you make these decisions. I have no opinion if you want to hoe yourself around and sleep with a different person. Like if you're one of these Tinder people. I have like, what is the type of person Dr. V has to be in order for everyone to love Dr. V? Well, I pick up the check. I can almost guarantee you, if we're going out to dinner, I'm picking up the check. Like there's not even an argument. If you come to visit me and you want to drive one of my classic cars, let's go. You can drive it. I don't care. If you say, Dr. V, I really like this shirt. Yeah, man. Does it fit you? You can have it. Don't care. So the type of person Dr. V has to be is generous, right? Kind, compassionate, empathetic. So when people bitch and complain and talk, I just sit there and listen. I don't listen very long. I've learned to distract them. I've learned to push them off to Erica, but I'll just act like I'm interested. One day I was meditating. I was the director of bariatrics in Albuquerque. And in 1 year, we became the busiest program. I was director of bariatrics for Loveless. In 1 year, I became the busiest program, even though my competitors had a 5-year head start on me. They had a 5-year head start on me. But I'm not happy. I was rising through the ranks of the professional societies. They were asking me to be on committees. They were trying to figure out what I was doing. The industry was trying to make me. I eventually became proctor and taught other surgeons how my technique and stuff like that. And I came out of this meditation, and it dawned on me, I'm going to be the world's happiest surgeon. I quit trying to be the world's busiest surgeon. How many cases are you going to do this month? What are you doing? Your schedule. You guys fill up my schedule. Blah, 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 blah. What courses do I need to go to? Who do I need to talk to? How do I get up and run for vice president? All this sort of stuff, right? I said, I'm the busiest program in the state of New Mexico after 1 year. We become the first centers of excellence in bariatric surgery. Why am I not happy? What? This is not good. I'm busy. I'm getting bonuses. But why I'm not happy? So I come out and I said, I'm going to be the world's happiest surgeon. So I get up, I shower. I'm doing my mantras in the shower. I'm the world's happiest surgeon. I'm the world's happiest surgeon. I get to the hospital. I pull up in the hospital and old Dr. V, gotta go. I said, hold on. How does the world's happiest surgeon walk into the hospital? So I go, I literally stopped at the front door to the hospital and literally was like, security guards like, hey man, what's up? Like seriously. I get to the OR. The nurse runs up to me, Dr. V, I'm so sorry, but we're running behind. An old doctor would have been like, most surgeons would be like, man, you're ruining my schedule. I'm behind already. The world's happiest surgeon goes, oh, that's okay. What's going on? We're having trouble getting an IV started, but they're coming, We got Mike coming and he's going to do it. No worries. I get to the, I'm like, how long do you think? And like 10 minutes. I'm like, 10 minutes. That's nothing. That's perfect. Like it'll give me time to round on the patients. That's fine. I go see the patient in the holding area. Oh, I hear they're having trouble starting your IV. And patients say like, oh yeah, no, my veins, they're just like, you know. And I say, oh, but I hear Mike's coming to start your IV. Patient goes, oh, who's Mike? Oh, Mike's very good. I don't know if Mike's very good. I just go, Mike's very good. You're gonna love him. And he's handsome too. And which he was. He was very handsome. Right? And she's like, okay. Mike shows up, starts the IV. I go up around on patients. I come back. Everybody's in the OR. Very different attitude, very different energy flow. The world's happiest surgeon, you know. I got my protocols in the OR. Everyone wanted to work with me. I never screamed, never shouted, never threw instruments. See what I mean? World's happiest surgeon at the end of the day. Wow, what a good day. The average surgeon would be like, oh, I'm so busy. I have to finish my charting. I got to round on patients. I got to do this. I got to finish that. And oh my God, the lawyer wants to call me. The private school is trying to call me, or they're asking for a donation or money or payments due or whatever, tuition, private school tuitions due, blah, 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 blah. The world's happiest surgeon is like, man, what a good day. We had a great day of surgery, didn't we? Man, we really knocked it out of the ballpark, man. It was an awesome day. Let's go have some dinner. Oh, where should I go? The nice restaurants, sit at the bar, have a glass of wine, write my next book. That was it. Imagine this new life. Oh, back to average people. So you set this goal. I'm going to save money. I'm going to lose weight. And the second you set that goal, you don't know how to get there. There's no steps. You've never saved that much money before. You don't know how to not live paycheck to paycheck, as Amy's asked me. You don't remember what it took. A life without snacking. A life drinking water and not fucking Gatorade. So the dots go away, and then what happens? Immediately, you fall back down to the old life, to the old vibration level, because you don't know what to do. What you already are doing, you know how to do. You can see that. Like, Macy's is having a sale this weekend. So I'll save an extra 30% if I buy some more pants. But you already have pants. You don't need pants. You don't need new pants? Oh no, Dr. V, I need new pants. No, you don't. See, that's the pattern that they know to do, to go to a sale, but you didn't need it. So you wasted the money anyway. But that's what keeps them living paycheck to paycheck. What they don't understand is they have to realize, like, you need to buy a book on sales. You need to buy a book on an online course on how to be convincing, you need to watch a YouTube channel on how to get people to sign up for your MLM. You need to watch a video where there's, I don't care. I don't love Dave Ramsey, but you get the idea. Dave Ramsey, Susie Orman, about your credit card, pay off your debt, that sort of stuff. But who's got time for that, Dr. V? So you don't have time to change your life, but you have time to go waste it 3 hours in the mall shopping. That's the time you have. Priorities, right? And here's the problem. The reason why is because you haven't fucking made the decision. The decision to change your life. The second you make the decision to change your life, I know some people are going to be like, Dr. V, you've never been overweight. You don't know what the struggle's like. You're a surgeon. You don't know what the average person struggles with financially. Dude, I'm an Asian immigrant. I'm a Vietnamese boat person. I came over with my dad. He was 36. I was 6. I could not speak the language. I was telling the story last night to Erica and her family. At one point, Dr. V was the poorest and the dumbest kid in school. Think about that. You are the dumbest kid in school if you can't speak the language, right? I was the dumbest kid in school. I got to Longview in the spring of kindergarten year. I know that because my dad's birthday is March 15th. That's a made up birthday because we don't really celebrate birthdays in Vietnam. We all turn a year older at New Year's. That's why the Lunar New Year is like our most important holiday. So we get to the immigration office, and the guy says, "When's your birthday?" He's like, "I don't have a birthday. We don't have a birthday." And guy goes, "Today's March 15th, so that's your birthday, March 15th, 1942, year of the horse." And that's all. My dad was like, "I'm year of the horse, like I'm 42." Okay, March 15th, 1942 is now your birthday. So I know I got here for the spring, a couple months of kindergarten. We stayed, let me see if I get this right. We stayed with some little family, with a little family for about 6 months, cousins or some people we knew. My dad did not like that because he found out later, like the old lady, like used to spank me. One time they pulled my pants down. I have one of my earliest memories. They pulled down my pants and made me walk around and laughed at me. I don't know why. People do the funniest things. So then my dad rented this little house. One day I come home from school. He's like, "We're leaving." He rented this little house that was literally had one room. There was no bedroom. It had a second room that was the kitchen and a bathroom. That was it. It was literally a tiny, tiny home, maybe 20 feet by 10. I mean, maybe 400 square feet at the most. So that was first and second grade. Third grade, my dad, I came home one day. He goes, "We're moving." He had bought a home, my childhood home, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathroom, maybe 1,100 square feet, not very big, but it was our home. Big yard, red brick house, 1,100 square foot. Guys, do you guys understand this? We had been in the country 3 years. I was doing the math. This never occurred to me. I was like, oh my God, in 3 years, my dad bought a house after him coming over, not speaking the language, not knowing anybody. And I have no clue how he did that. And we have Americans who live here, born here, and still thinks it's impossible for them to buy a house because they don't understand this thing about money, about making a fucking decision and then imagining your new life. That's why my dad escaped Vietnam. He wanted a new life. This is the thing that you're thinking about. People are like, "Oh man, you just have that immigrant hustle." No. Well, yes, but this is what you got to do. So average people have this New Year's goal. They don't know how to connect the dots to get there, so they just fall back down and do it. Dr. V is always consistently trying to learn, figure it out. I've never run a fucking bed and breakfast, but I flipped houses in the past. I know how to lay tile. I know how to remodel. I know I'll have a crew. I have contractor friends now. I love to cook, so I can cook. I love to garden. We have chickens here in my backyard. We have chickens on the ranch. We've got turkeys on the ranch. We've got goats. We got all sorts of stuff. So it's all coming together. How hard can this be? I can build websites. I can host this on the Airbnb. I can list us on Airbnb and HipCamp and other websites and stuff like that. Like what? This is not that hard, y'all. What is the big deal? Your mind does not know the difference between imagination and reality. So if you're using your imagination and you're creating anxiety and fear and doubt, wow, we have 135 people watching. That's a misuse of your imagination. If instead you have this imagination that you're going to live like this amazing life, but you got to get really crystal clear. Like literally, Erica and I said, "Erica, can you imagine you're walking across the meadow to the river and Mason's following you and Milani is like trying to follow you?" I mean, can you see that? That's the level of clarity. Average people will go, "Oh, I'd love to have more money." And they stop right there. What does that look like? I mean, why do I have 10 cars? I do not need 10 cars. That was bad use of my imagination. Like, you have to start really understanding this. Make the decision. You know what, Dr. V, you're right. I am going to start understanding money. I'm going to YouTube it. I'm going to read, you know, make this decision. Write this down. Here you go. Understand this right now. Tattoo this on your forehead. What I am currently doing is not working. What I am currently doing is not working. If I'm living paycheck to paycheck, what I am currently doing is not working. If I am 50 pounds overweight, what I am doing is currently not working. If I've had the gastric sleeve surgery and I've regained weight, what I am currently doing is not working. My husband has a hussy on the side and I know it and I'm putting up with it. What I am currently doing is not working. I go to church and say, I can do all things through God. And then I live the rest of the week in anxiety and stress and paycheck to paycheck. What I am currently doing is not working. And when you can admit that, that's the start, guys. That's the start of how you start to really like, oh God, this shit sucks, man. Don't wait to hit rock bottom like I did. Don't wait to have to be bankrupt like I did. Just decide. Use your higher faculty of imagination. Believe that the dots will appear, that you'll figure it out the next step, the next step. Stop using these toxic words like I'm a chocoholic, like I'm too old, I'm too young. I can already tell that there will be comments like that when I go back to watch this. Oh, Dr. V must be nice, must be nice. You know these must be nice motherfuckers? I said, hey man, I bought this bed and breakfast. Must be nice. Fuck yeah, it is. Yes, it is. And it can be nice for you too, if you will finally make the decision to change your life. I love you very much. Welcome to Sunday Coffee with Dr. V. I will be back next Sunday. Share and like. Tell your friends about it. I'll see you next Sunday. Bye, guys.